Hello there, welcome back to the Endless Sands. Behind me you see our shirtless new miner, Mixter, because last episode we built a farm, a mine, and a forester's hut, got our resource generation kind of started. This episode, I think the clue was in the title. It's all about the bread and the bees. We're going to see if we can finish up our food journey by getting the two other very useful agriculture-related buildings on our colony, namely a bakery to bake bread, and of course an apiary to get some bees. So let's jump in. Okay, now if you guys know me, you know I have a real bad habit of getting distracted. What I'll do at the start of an episode is say, oh yeah, we're going to build a bakery, and then instantly I'll go over and see something and say, oh, actually, no, we're going to go to the end. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and stay laser focused on our goal. It's a bakery and an apiary. So let's get over the river to our camp and make these huts. Now, there were only 2 videos last week. Sorry about that. I've been a bit under the weather, so that delayed video production. And I'm still a little bit sniffly, but I want to play Minecraft, so we're here. Now, what I want to do is build an apiarist's hut. And of course, the second building is going to be the bakery. There we go. So these are the big important buildings. The bakery is not going to be hard to make because we got all of the bits. But the problem could be the apiary. To actually build this, we'll need a beehive, and to make one of those, we're going to need some initial starter honeycombs. Now again, this is where the problem of the desert could come to bite us in the butt. Oh man, like a bee. Man, can you imagine if bees didn't have stingers? They just had like massive jaws, and they bit you? That'd be terrifying. But would it be better? I don't know. I'm not afraid of bees, so I'd be fine with it either way. A bee could bite my bum any day. But again, we're getting a bit distracted, so we're focusing on bees. We need this honeycomb. So we've got to find some hives out in the wild. Now we could be in luck. There could be a mod-related way for us to get honeycomb that isn't going out and finding beehives. We can shear honeycomb blocks. That's not going to work. We can crush honeycomb. No, it all seems to hinge around honeycomb. Yeah, it looks like we're out of luck. We're going to have to go and find some bees. Let's have a sleep and go and find some hives in the morning. Okay, day has dawned. Jewel Salad. Hello, welcome. As always, Patreon and YouTube members, a massive thank you for supporting the channel and the series. You can submit your names to the names list, and you can find out how to do that on our Discord. And there's a chance you'll join the colony, like Wolfric Aziza, Jewel Salad. Delicious. There should be another guy knocking around, but oh, here he is. Eshibex Arundel. Oh, I guess that's like Mixter's brother or sister. Anyway, yeah, let's go and see if we can find a beehive. Now, there are no trees in the Endless Sands, that we know. But thanks to mods, we shouldn't need a tree to find a beehive. Usually there's sand hives around. So I've got my jetpack on, it's half charged, which should be fine. We only need this to kind of like just get over big bits. Like jump over walls like this one. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. Love a jetpack. Let's go and see if we can find a sand hive. So if, like me, you are trapped in a desert world in the Endless Sands, don't worry, there is an easy way to find these beehives. So what you're going to want to do is you can do 2 things. You can open up the mini-map like that, and you're going to be looking for bees on the mini-map. If you see a bee, there's got to be a hive nearby, right? That's the telltale sign. And bees are much easier to find than hives. Oh, hello. You're a bee. It's a nomad bee. Like one of those. He looks like a bit of a nomad, doesn't he? So he's got to have a hive around here nearby. There's a couple of ways we could do this. We could just look for it. But they're quite hard to spot because they're sand colored. But of course, another way to do it is just to follow him back to his home. So he popped in somewhere around here. There we go. There is the sand hole. So, how do we get honeycomb out of a nest? Productive bees. So, tasks. To get started with the mod, you'll first need to find some honeycombs and some honey bottles. Okay. Find yourself a beehive and let the bees do their work for a little while. Shearing it is how you get full honeycombs. And glass bottles will give you honey bottles. Okay, right. So we'll have a sleep, go home, bring back some shears, and get some honeycomb. Wait, citizens report rumors of raiders. Rumors of raiders? Let's go home. Hang on a sec. Does that mean the raiders have arrived? To the northwest. Oh my god, our first raid. Northwest. Rumors. Yeah, there they are. It's the mummies. Oh my god, and there's a fair few of these. Now, the reason why there's so many is because we have quite a lot of dudes and quite a lot of guard towers, but we've been very lax, and none of our guards have any gear. Now, this isn't a problem early game because we can handle this with our own weapons and swords and stuff. So we're gonna fly up here with our jetpack and deal with these rude dudes. There they are, looking pretty aggressive. We'll put on our exo chest plates and seal the deal with our exo helmet because it is some armor. Oh, they're off. Come here, you. Let's chainsaw this fool. Oh man, I feel like Brendan Fraser. You know, they're making a new Mummy movie, actually, with all the main characters and actors from the first movie. That's going to be exciting. Come here, scum. Oh yeah, these guys are easy pickings. Oh, they're swamping me. But this is pretty deadly. There are quite a lot of mummies now, so we do need to work on our guards. That could be next episode. There we go. Let's deal with the Pharaoh. What a real chump. Oh my god, he's got like 130 health. Oh. No, am I gonna burn? Oh, that was close. That was real close. Wait, we didn't deal with all the mummies? Where's the last one? Oh, he's over there. He's crossed the bridge. Oh my god, he's in the apartments. There's a mummy in the apartments. Get out of here. This is where the dudes live. Ancient mummies fell apart, their plans crumbling like dry parchment. And honestly, it's really cool to build a colony in a desert because you don't usually see these weird different raiders like mummies and Amazons and Vikings. They're pretty rare unless you build in a biome where they live. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's get some shears and get back to that hive. Yay, the brave defenders. That's me. It can take bees a long time to fill up their nests with honey, and they won't be doing this if the chunk isn't loaded. So the best way to do this is to find sand nests that are near to where you've set up your stuff, because those nests are going to have gathered honey while you're doing your stuff with your colony, and they should already be full. It's crazy. I used to work with a guy actually that loved bees so much. He dressed up as a bee for Halloween, but it was a bee costume for ladies. So it was a skirt, and he just really loved bees. He kept making YouTube videos about bees that nobody wanted to watch. It was, nobody had the heart to tell him though that he had a problem, but never mind. Also, if you're having trouble finding hives, there's also a nest locator, and this doesn't need honey to make. You can actually just use a note block, iron bars, and gold nuggets. So let's go and make one of those and see if it works. Right, so you shift right click on a block of the same type as the nest you are looking for. So we're looking for a sand hive. So we shift right click on sand, turn to sand nest, boom, a nest is located 12 meters that way. Oh, look at it beeps. Kind of the icon changes as you're looking in the direction. So as we move around, it gets brighter and brighter until we're looking at it and there we go, pure blue. So I've been waiting for these bees now to fill these hives up for about half an hour, and there's still no honeycombs inside these nests. Now there is most definitely something going wrong here. These bees are supposed to raise the honey level by 1 every time they exit a nest, and this guy has been in and out of the sand nest like at least 10 times, and yet when we use shears and glass bottles on these sand nests, we're not getting honeycombs. So my dudes, the nests you find out in the wild are a bit of a bust. There's no honey in those. So what we're going to have to do is, I think, raid some villages for what we need. Now inside this chest you can see there's a sturdy bee cage. That'll come in handy for getting bees back to our apiary because you do have to supply your own bees. These huts don't make bees. Oh my god, yes, look at this, an infinite ham. So this will replace our baked potato. An infinite ham is a really powerful artifact. What you can do, if we unlock it, hold shift, and I guess the special pattern is ham shaped, but we can kind of just spend our XP to get this looking like a ham. There we go. And this is an infinite source of food. Really good. Now finding these honeycombs Ooh, a locket. Nice. Is actually really tricky. So my dudes, we are completely bust. We have gone far and wide and not found any honeycomb or any honey. We checked villages. There weren't any honeycombs or honeys that we could find. We couldn't find any apiasts or bees. We tried nests out in the wild. They didn't seem to make honey. So what about in the crafting grid? Have we got any honey that we've gathered? No, no bottles or combs. Oh my god, how frustrating. So my dudes, there's no two ways about it. I have looked far and wide for honeycomb and honey bottles, and I have come up blank. There's no way to get either, and it's a real roadblock for us. I don't know if it's because we're in the desert, but yeah, if you guys at home, because you guys usually know I'm missing something really important, but if you guys can think of a way that I could get honeycomb or honey, let me know in the comments section, because hopefully that will help people that have the same problem as me. But for now, oh my god, I think we have to go and see our blue friend, the Genie, and get ourselves some honey. Wait a minute, what's this? Genie's room. He gave himself a room? Oh wow, this place is that a PlayStation?
You said decorate the place. So Genie take liberty of adding PlayStation, 65-inch flat-screen TV and full library of best games. This one is Diablo 4.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, can you hook me up, please? Basically, we can't find the right kind of bees for me to get honeycomb or honey bottles, and I need you to hook me up, please. I wish for some honey and some honeycomb.
Are you sure you did not mean to say honeys? Well, a wish is a wish. Granted, check your backpack. Now if you don't mind, I am grinding legendaries.
Okay, Genie, the absolute legend, has hooked us up with some honeycomb blocks and some honey bottles, so we can use the honeycomb blocks to break into honeycomb, and with these, we'll be able to complete that quest. That's going to give us a few more. Again, this is a bit of a cheaty way of doing things, but I reached a roadblock that I'm not sure how to confront. So let me know if you've got any ideas in the comment section. But yeah, so we've got the honeycomb, we've got the honey bottles, we've got a sturdy bee cage, we can make some more of these, but we won't bother yet because we've got one sturdy one that can be reused. So all we need to do now is make some hives to get this actual hut block. So 10 honeycomb should be fine. Let's go and make ourselves the apiary. We'll need a beehive, but we're not going to need just one beehive. We're going to need two because, yeah, one makes the hut. The second one is needed inside the build. There we go. Oh my god, at last. So, the bakery and the apiary. Let's find a place for these guys to live. Now you'll see this area over here looks a little bit different to before. What we did between episodes was build the retaining wall around the edge, add some stairs and flatten the area, so we've got a lot more room up here near to the cookery to put down our bakery and our beekeeper. Let's go and use that space. So here we are, yeah, lots and lots of buildable space, and this area should be big enough for both buildings we want to do. So let's take a look at the bakery and the apiarist. So building number one is the bakery. We'll swivel this around. So we've got the front door facing the road, which is along here at the bottom. And here we go. Looks pretty good if we lower it down to the ground. Yeah, amazing. And this is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Yeah, this is going to fit quite nicely over here. So let's find a space for it to live. Move it this way, I think, and forwards like that. That's a nice little area, a bit of a space from the stairs over there, and a little bit further back from the road. Absolutely perfect. Plug you in. And the next building is also in luxury. It's the apiary, and it says it's a luxury, but it's really not. You really do need bees and honey, especially in the Nile. I think ancient Egyptians really loved honey. They were all about that golden goo. But let's move this around, get the front door. Oh yeah, this looks really nice, doesn't it? Press it up against here. We've also got some room behind If we want a second apiary, maybe this could be a good place for the flower keeper's hut as well, but this is going to be good if we pull the trigger on this. This is level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. At level 5, it looks amazing. I love that brown and yellow as well. Very bee-themed, this hut. Very cool. And we have ourselves a couple of buildings to build. Let's get to it. So level 1, these are two very simple buildings. The bakery is really simple, just the same old materials: jungle wood, sandstone, mud. The huge, but what's different is the apiary actually needs a few flowers, and that makes sense because bees need flowers to make honey. It needed dandelions and poppies, luckily 2 things we have access to. One of you guys commented that instead of going through all the crafting mess I went through before to make the dandelions, you can just use bone meal on grass. And that's a really good point. That's a great way to get dandelions. Also very important, we needed to make a second beehive because a beehive is required for this build. But the builders have everything they need, and these buildings went up pretty quickly. Obviously, we're not going to stop at level 1. We're going to take these guys from level 1 all the way up to level 2. Not a huge difference, but they do look much better. So yeah, both buildings up to level 2 now. Let's go and see who's been hired. So I think Moth Neferet is our... Are you a beekeeper? I think she is our... No, she's our baker. She's our star baker. Man, that reminds me of like British Bake Off. Yeah, here she is. Moth Neferet, star baker. Oh man, I love British Bake Off. It's so good. But the problem is with British Bake Off, right? There's always one guy that is like, oh my god, I'm like the best baker in the world. I'm basically like Christina Tosi, who is a famous baker, by the way. And then there's always one guy that's just like, you know, oh, well, you know, my day job is accountancy, and I've never baked in my life. One time I tried to make toast, and it burned. And he's always, he's always terrible. But I guess, yeah, sure, that works. And Ender Teabreak is our beekeeper.
Like that, mate.
And he wants some shears.
I'm waiting for some.
So you know what? You can take our shears, because they didn't do us any good.
I heard a whistle that time. I'm waiting for some. I'm missing something. I can't work like this.
There we go. Now it looks like all these workers come with coffee. I don't understand why all of our guys are just spawning with coffee. But I'll take that. You know, you can't have it, and I'm thirsty. Oh yeah, delicious coffee. Oh, look at this. Oh, whoa. So this speeds you up. That's pretty cool. Didn't know that. Now the baker's pretty simple. It works like any crafting hut. It comes by default with a bunch of really easy recipes, like for example, bread dough into bread, manchit dough into manchit bread, muffin dough into muffins, obviously, and cookie dough into, guess what? Yeah, that's right, cookies. And by default, those recipes are loaded into the baker as well. So this is why we needed durum wheat instead of regular wheat, because durum wheat is used for almost all of these recipes. We will need regular wheat for bread dough, but otherwise, durum wheat is really good. Not only that though, but this is important, and this is why we built an apiary, because we do need honey bottles to make scones. So yeah, that's important. It needs a fuel, so we'll give it charcoal and coal. That seems good to us. Other than that, we can kind of leave this to do its thing, and if we put any of these baked goods on the menu at the restaurant, our star baker Moth, where is she? There you are. She will get to work and make these recipes. Okay, good to know. The beekeeper's hut though, this needs a little bit more setup. So at level 2 now it's got 2 beehives, but of course, we're missing the key component for any good apiarist, and that's bees. Now also you'll see this big old cobblestone bridge. Basically, we needed a way to get Alexander over from his builder's hut, because I didn't want him to go all the way around. That would have made the build take years. So we built this really lame cobblestone bridge. Not a problem, because we can just ulti-mine it away. And good to go. So our task now is to go out and find some bees that can make us some honey. Now I'm a bit worried because we've got our bee cage. That should be okay, we can use this. But if we use the wrong type of bee, I'm worried that we'll have the same problem we had looking at hives, and we won't get any honey. But we'll find out, right? We'll find a way. Now there is a bee. It looks like a chocolate mining bee. And that's exactly what it is. I think this is going to be perfect. He looks to be fine with dead bushes, so that'll be a fine plant. We'll put him in the bee cage. We're also going to make some shears, so we'll grab the iron from our backpack, turn this into shears. And we're going to dig up some bushes because these bees need dead bush. I don't think they'll use regular flowers. They might do though, so we might be in luck. But there's one bee at least to get going with. And so it's as simple now, I think, as releasing the bee into the pen. So the sturdy bee cage, right click. There's the bee, and he's walking around. Now, is he going to interact with these poppies? You know what, I don't know if he will, and that's why we picked up the dead bush, because just in case, these guys can use this instead to get all the goodness they need. There we go, there's a couple lying around. He shouldn't have any problems now. We'll leave him to it, come back later to make sure these beehives are actually working. Oh yeah, look, he's got pollen. Where's he going? Don't go that way. There's a beehive right here, my dude. What is he doing? Go into the beehive, friend. It's right there. Go in, guy, my dude. He's getting lost. It might be because this is a modded bee, and modded bees might need, like, modded hives. That would make things really awkward. But that's a problem for later. Also, let's get this guy configured. So we've given Ender some shears, but he's going to need to know if he wants to breed bees. We do want him to breed bees, why not? And have you collect honeycomb, that sounds good. Give me a selection tool. It looks a bit like a honey stirrer. And this is important because with the selection tool, you right-click, shift-right-click on the hives, and then the beekeeper knows which are the hives and where he should be gathering honey from. Very good. We do have the problem that it doesn't look like we're making honey. We'll have to fix this problem. If you guys have any suggestions, do let me know in the comment section. I always love reading them, and in this case, I might need some of that advice. Because this bee does not want to live in these hives. I think we might need vanilla bees, so it could be we have to talk to Genie and have him give us some bees. But you know what? I think there might be a way to find vanilla bees out in the world. Wait and see. Now there's one more thing Ender needs. Ender needs to know what kind of flowers to feed the bees, so the bee will breed. We could give them wild cactus, that's a thing. No, that's a flowering barrel of cactus. What other things can we... Maybe poppies. We've got lots of poppies. Yeah, poppies are the thing we want you to feed them from Minecraft. We can get him loads of those. And that, I believe, is Ender fully configured and our baker as well. So a massive thank you, my dudes, for watching this episode. Genie hooked us up with some honey, which it turns out is really hard to get. We got a bakery and an apiarist down and configured them both. But there's still so much to do, so make sure you join me for next episode when we tackle even more things. As always, a massive thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I will see you next episode for some more Endless Sands. Until then, take care.